Lilith, this is a good comment and important to remember for those of you who are starting this process. So, for those of you who are jumping in, I just moved to Portugal. I have a remote job. I'm a 1099 employee now. In fact, on the September 15th was my last W-2 paycheck. So I've now just I've jumped off the cliff, and I am an LLC with my 1099, and I'm going to be self-paying for my 401k and so forth and so on. So what you're talking about is, first of all, I'm sure you know that I wouldn't have gotten this far without confirming what my employer side is doing. And I think to your point, you want to make sure at the end of the day that you are in good, clear communication with your employer and understanding what the expectations are of each party, right? And in this case, what you're describing sounds more like if you're still a W-2 moving to a foreign country. In that case, an employer is still having to abide by that country's tax laws. Usually that's larger companies that do that. I used to work for a big software company and they were global. So they had massive departments that's what they did. My case is a very small company. And so they're like, yeah, you can go 1099 because they just absolve themselves of all responsibility, which is fine with me. So that's a different scenario. So when you're doing this type of homework to this point and my point, there's a lot of information out there and everyone has an opinion on how this is done. And it's based on their experience with their type of employment, their employer financial structure, and then what they decided to end up doing, right? And so you got to take in all the information and then really figure out what applies to you in your scenario. So again, I'm actually a 1099. I have an LLC. I'm building another business, so that's also why I did the LLC, so I can just, keep everything running through the LLC. But I'll keep you guys posted on how my process goes because this is a very big learning curve for me. So anyway, again, Lilith, good point to keep in mind for people. It's just more stuff to put on the list as you gather your notes and stuff when you're thinking about doing something like this. Take home message: make sure you're transparent with your employer and having open conversations with each other so everybody understands the expectations. That would be my takeaway. All right, I have to go to work on that note.